talked about last time. So for those that did the assignment, that's very great, and appreciate your inputs, and it actually make a very good sense. It actually shows we are making progress. So like we said, we're already here. If you look here, this is the file we're using. So by the time we just finish the basics, when we'll be doing the real plotting, we'll be creating a new directory. That's right clicking here and go to new and create new file, where each of the project we do, like we'll be picking them one after the other, from bar chart to sequential. All of them, we're going to be getting them one by one, but for now I just want us to get the basics, and once we get the basics, we'll proceed. So back to land. Normally I've opened this. The next thing I need to do is to go here and type on the terminal and type Jupyter Lab. So when you type Jupyter Lab, because I didn't type it well, I'm having an error, so I need to check the problem I'm having. So I see I didn't put it right, so it's supposed to be Jupyter Lab, but I typed Jupyter Lab then, so I have to make it be the perfect thing it's supposed to be, and I click enter. So once this is done and what you type is correct, it's going to split in seconds, and it's going to read like this for you. And once it reads like this for you, it will automatically open in a browser, your default browser. Like you can see, mine comes up like this. Now once it comes up like this, it's telling me that the new version of Jupyter Lab is available. Open this. Then for me, I don't need it now. I'll still update it later. So but for now, let it be. I'm going down to the code where we did our assignment. So this is where we stopped, and then this is assignment 1 we did last time, and we bring it in here. Then I'm going to go to this place, and we will continue with where we stopped last time, and I'm going to proceed with what we're supposed to do. So I'm going to go here and change this thing from code to markdown, and I'm going to select this, and we'll be talking about Matplotlib labels. So we have talked about Matplotlib labels. Sorry, we'll be talking about Matplotlib's grid, not labels, because we have talked about labels, right? So let's talk about grid. So I press shift, press enter, and that gives me the title. So I'm still going to use the same code we have been using. So in this way, I can choose to use this. So all I just need to pass grid to it. You can see the code we have been using. We put the array. So the only thing I need to do now is that, as this one is, I can just copy the whole code here, copy, and then paste it here. And then the next thing I need to do is down here, or whatever I want to pass the argument to, when I finish plotting, I just to put the PLT. Remember when we talk about PLT, is we have said import this as PLT. Now I just need to put PLT, and I say dot grid, which is going to be GRD, open and close. And if I run this particular code right now, it is not going to look like this. It is going to have a grid on it, as you can see now. So it have added a grid to it. You see the 10, those intervals here, it have actually added a grid to it. So this is a way I can add a grid to my map, or to whatever I'm plotting. So automatically it gives me the grid. Now another way about grid is that in this grid aspect, you only pass the grid here, as you see here, to all of them, which is by default. So what if I want to pass the grid to only x-axis? I only want it to grid on the x-axis. So I'll click on Ctrl A and Ctrl C and go down here and paste the thing. paste the same thing I copied, and in here I am going to say axis is equal to, in the grid I'm going to pass axis equal to, and I'm going to say I want you to pass it into x. Now if I run this code now, you see that the only part I have grid here is in the x-axis, that is from down to top. I didn't have, you see here, it's not the same thing again. So it is no more in x and y, it is now only in x. So the same thing apply to when you want to pass the grid to the same y-axis. If you run the same thing now, you see it only passes it in the y-axis and no more in the x. So this is exactly what you can do depending on how you want to pass it. If you want to pass it into y, you pass it into y. If you want to pass it into to x-axis, you pass it into x-axis. Now, by the virtue of, let me copy this and pass it into x. So, because one of the reasons I'm keeping this is that it's just like going to be a documentation for us. So I want you to document it so that by the next time you want to work on a code, you don't need to come and start looking for where to get it again. That's why we're doing it and putting it in GitHub. So if you tell somebody that I can use Matplotlib, the only way you can prove to the person is by sharing your GitHub account with the person, and the person can come in and check and see, oh, you can actually do it because you have done different ones, so it is easy for you to get it done. So I am going to the grid here and I'm going to pass the argument. Now I want to talk about how I can pass the color. So for me to get this done, I want to pass it into it. The first thing I want to pass into this place is I want to pass the color, what color I want the grid to be. So I can, in the plot grid, I can now type color is equal to let's look at blue. So let's automatically write blue here and then put comma. I also want to pass the line style. Before it was a line, fill line straight. So but I want to pass the line style into it. How do I want the line style to be? So I have to type line style like this. Style. Then in line style, what type of line style I want it to pass? I want it to be a dash dash, that is dash dash this way, and then I can also pass what is the width. So you pass line width like this, you type line width like this. You can pass the line width into, let's say, 1, and then when you run this code, you're going to have, it says there is issue with lateral. What is the problem? 1, 2, 3. Okay, the problem here is that I use single quote and I use double quote in this way. So that's where the problem starts. And you see here, I have passed this thing into dotted line, make it blue, and I put it 1. I think 1 is too much, so let's make it 0.5. So let's write 0.5 there, and then we run the same code and you see it's being slimmer. And what else do we need to change again? The blue color is not looking nice, so can we make it black, or can we make it look a bit better? So if you run this, we have gray, so you can see it's better than what it was now. Like it is, the visibility is better than what it was. So with this, I've passed the grid. Remember, when we talk about plot, when we want to plot, we use this. When we want to put title, we use plt.title. Now we want to put grid, we use plt.grid. Then remember, show is to plot everything. If you remove this man now, want to delete it and run the same code, then you see you have this. The reason why you have this is because it's have already run it, and you understand that after this you do this. If not, this is what you use to show. And then, like I said, anytime you want to check what it is, go to show help here. You can see that if you click on show, and then it's supposed to read and tell you plt.shows, and tell you what to use that particular thing to do. So this is a way you can pass a grade into Matplotlib. Do you have any question on this? Because this is what we can talk about now for grade. In as much as this grid comes in like this, at any intervals is going to grade it like that for you. We'll be going to the complex aspect of it, but for now, if you have any question on the grid part, we talk about it. If you don't have any question, we can proceed to next thing. So if nobody talks, that means we are good with grid, right? So we go to what we call subplot. Subplot is used to draw many plots at a time. You have different things you need to visualize at a time, so you can make a subplot to it. And when you are making a subplot, we can still copy this code and modify it here. So I'm going to make Ctrl A copy, and I'm going to paste this code here. Now when you want to do a subplot, in this way you can make plot 1 and plot 2. That is what you can do, plot 1 and plot 2. So that can give you a subplot. And the first thing you need to do in the subplot is that, let's assume that this is the first listing here, and then I'm going to make this first listing as, let me add this in front and say it is a plot 1. I want to plot, this is the first listing we want to define, and then we have defined it as this variable, as you can see, putting all those values as what we have. Then the next thing we need to do is, after defining this variable the way it is, you can now say okay, let's do it like this, so that let's look for a smaller code that we are going to copy, so that we will not make it look so I think this will be okay. So let me copy this. So let me copy this and let's modify it here. Now this is a simple one. Then when you run this, you see that it just only gives you these 2 lines, as you can see here. Now this is the plot 1. So I want to make these things, the first one we do here as plot 1. This is the first one, which is going to be plot 1. I have done it and put the title on it, and I have plotted it. Now I want to go to the plot 2. Now if I want to do plot 2, now this goes down here to plotting, so I want to go down a bit here, a bit, and then say here, and I say plot 2. Now I have talked about, declare like this is my plot 2. So what I need to do is the same thing. I want now to copy this value here as plot 2. So I'll copy this to make for plot 2. I want to put them different, because if I put them the way it is, I can just declare both of them and it is still going to work. But I don't want us to like start looking on how it's going to be, so we'll get a bit confusion inside it. That's why I want to separate both of them, so that you see this one being independent and the next one, which I'm going to work on now, being independent. Now before you go to plot 2, the next thing I want you to know is that before you say plot A and B, that is the X and Y, that is the X and Y that you plotted here. So I want you to do a plt.subplot. It is a built-in function that knows that you are looking for subplot. So let's say subplot, you open it up like this and you pass the argument, let's say 1, 2 and 1. We are coming back to it. I'm going back to explain each of them before you plot this. Now you see you have 1, 2, 1. So you have break this thing into 2. 1, we break it into 2, and then you have this. Now this is subplot. Like I said, if you have any issue, go here, go to show help, and then select subplot, as you see it up here. So it's supposed to read and bring you every information about subplot. Yeah, so if you select it, it's supposed to give you every argument. This is subplot. How does it work? What's the meaning of each of them? So the default is 1 1 1. The position of the this is described by 1 of 1. The 3. So you read this. This is how you can get more information about why, what's happened in there, and why do you pass those argument into it. So you have said 1 2 1. That means the 1 1 and this is the next one. This is the put this thing into the first one. This is the meaning of this last one here. Put this plot into the first one. You have divided it into 2, but put the first one in the first one. I'm going to revise the same thing I did now again so that you understand what I mean. So I'm going down here, and I'm going to now do, I've declared the 1 2, so I'm just going to copy this code here, and then in here I'm going to say do this thing, pass it into the subplot of 2, and then let me go back here and copy this PLP plot where we say plot this thing for us, for example. So let me go and copy this and do copy and return back here and paste this. Sorry, let me close this first to have more space. So if I run this, you see that it have plotted the second one here for me. The first one, the second one. This is this 20, 10, here 20, 10. So if you return here, see 20, 10, 20, 10. So if I want this first one to come here, what am I supposed to do? I can change this argument here to 2. And if you run this particular code right now, what it's going to do is that it's going to put it inside here. You see exactly what happened. It's going to take this thing inside here. Now, if I put this thing 1 here and put, I think this is 2, and I'm going to put 1, it's going to revise it, and this one will come here while this other one is here. Now in this aspect is 1, so this is 2. If you change this value to 4 and run the code, what is going to happen here is going to bring this thing into 4. Like you can see here, break it up here. Then I'm going to change this thing into 4, into 4, and run the code again. And then you see that it have 1 2 3 4. So like, see the way it breaks this into this, but I want it only to be in 2. If I make 3 here, and then what if I go down here and make 3, and then I will run the code, you will see that you have 1 2 3. So now what if I change this thing here to 2, make this one here to 2, and make this one 2, then make this one here 2, then make this one here 2, and then make this one 1, and run this code. And this is exactly what is going to happen. What did I do? I asked it to give me a subplot, make it 2 row. This is row. The first letter here is the row. The second letter here, as you see here, is the column, like how many columns do you need? And the third letter here is where am I going to put this plot that I declare? Is it in the first one or second one? I don't know. Are we together?
Yeah.
Okay, because if we are not together, we will start fighting soon when you want to do the same thing. I want you to understand, like I said, that the first thing you put in subplot here means number of column. The second thing you put inside there means the row. And the third one you put inside there, the plot, is where do you position the plotting? Is it in 1 or 2? So understand that if you want to draw 2, you know you are drawing 2. If you want to draw 1, you know you are drawing 1. Now, why do you need to know this? The reason why you need to know this, there is a time you'll be working and you need to know where you need to pass this thing into. What are you supposed to do? I need 2 column, I need 2 row and 1 column. So this is what I need now. So I'm going to make 2 row and 1 column, and I run the code. You will get 2 row but 1 column. Now, when do you need to do this type of a thing? When you need to do this type of a thing is when, depending on the type of data you have. You know, when you are working in a map and you decide to change orientation to portrait or landscape, that is depending on the size of your map. And you see here, this is exactly what I did. So it means that if I want to pass grid into this, I can still come here and say PLD here, .grd. Now, what am I trying to say? We have been talking about all these things, and what it means is that what I want you to do is to take your time. That's why I say we should just practice. You have no idea of what you will become by practicing. So what I want you to be doing is, you see the way we make this, come back to this and start putting these things in together. Because if you look here, you see that we just did all these things now. Now, before we didn't put grid, we stopped somewhere here where we didn't put grid. Now we have added grid to it. Then after grid, we are now doing subplotting, and you can see now it is getting complex. So your ability to bring these things together and practice with it is what makes you understand what we are doing. So you see the way I passed this into it. You see, I passed this into it. You see this up here. This is what it is. So remember, like I said, I declare the first one, and you see here that I put here Pablo is a young man. That is why you have this, that X label is Pablo is a young man. You can see my name here, Kinsley, as a title, and Blake is an old man in the x-axis, in the y-axis, sorry. So this is different things you can do, and I want you to take note of these things we are doing and practice with it and see what we are talking about. Like I said, the first thing here, the meaning of these things is that 2 is equals to row, then 1 is equals to column, then the 2 at the last of it is equal to the place you want it to put it. That's the position, location. Now, what I mean by location, if I put this thing in 2, you see I have 2 and 1 here. If I put this thing in 1, meaning that I want you to put both of them in the same place. Now, this is why both of them are here. There is a space here. There is nothing that is inside here. Now, here, I want this thing to be in 2, and this one will be in. No, the 2 is a position, the 2 and 1, 2, and I run it, both of them will come down. But I want this one to be in 1. I will change this into 1, that is the position. I run the code. You can see that this one is here and this one is here. So this is the way you can work on it. Remember, I'm just going to copy this code for the sake of you, for those who might not get this, and I'm going to just copy this code and paste it here and change this thing that I want it to have here. As you can see, I want it to have 1 row, and that is 1 row, and I want it to have, let me run this code first. You see that I have here, there is an error. The error is because this is not possible. I have put 1, 1. So I'm supposed to have 1 row and 2 column and 2 column. So I run this. You see, this is 1 row, so we have 2 column. So this is the perfect way you can get this one done. So there are other things you can do. If you want to plot 4 or 6 plot, you can do the same thing. Now I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste. Then if you want to plot for 6 plots, you can start defining your data into what it is and plot it into 6 plots. So for example, let's say here that we say import this, and we have defined our first array here as what this is what we are going to define, and let's put x and y label here, and we now put the first one where we put the subplot. So let's use this first one as the first one, and then let's put this subplot as 2, and then put the number of column as 3, and then let's put the position as 1. Then now remember what I said, if you run this, you see here, sorry, I made a mistake here because I supposed to also format this to be the same thing as 2 and then as 3, and then I will run the same code again. It says here that the position, so the position of this one is subplot 2 3. We're supposed to put 1 here, and then this one's supposed to be in the position of 2. So let me run the code again, and you see now I have divided it into 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. The same title, the same x-axis, the same y-axis, all of them are the same thing. So I see I have put this one in the position of this. Now this is plot 1. Now what am I going to do again? I'm going to make this one come together so that you will understand what I'm saying. Now look at this. This is the word I did for plot 1. So probably let me copy and paste here, and then this one be in plot 2. So I'm going to put here and do here and say plot of 2 here, 3 here. I can copy this here. Is that okay? Is thing and nothing plt array. No, let me take this. This is supposed to come down here, so let me cut this and then paste it here. I just need something to copy and modify. So to make this thing easy for us, I'm just going to copy this, which is this one now. No, let me copy this, or let us write the fresh one. So in writing the fresh one, which we are going to do is subtract. So I am going to start something by saying the same thing. I'm going to say x is equal to, so let's do something like numpy.array. So let's copy this. This will be better. So since we're looking at making it faster, so let's copy this and paste this. Now when we copy this and paste it, let's change this to 5, and let's change this to something like 12. Let's change this thing to 21 and make this one 8. Now we have defined the plot 3. Now this is the plot 3 that we are looking at. We want to plot for 3. Now where do we want to put the position? Remember, we have divided this thing into this way. So what we need to do, still copy the array here, copy this plot subplot here. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go down here and paste it. And when I paste it, I need to position it in the position of 3 along that row. So if you make this and you run the code, you see that you are going to have this into 3. There is nothing inside here. Why? Because you have created a subplot 3, but you have not passed that it should plt. Remember that after creating that, you need to pass it into it, and to pass into it you have to do plt plot, and you are going to now say open bracket, you put your x, because like the same way we did here, plot x and this. So if you say plot x comma y and you close this, for example, and then you run your code, you see that you are going to have this one here. So who is the first person that is going to tell me what I'm going to write to get? Blake. Is Blake here? Is spelling here?
Yes, I'm here.
I want you to tell me what I will do. I want to plot for 4. Can you choose a value you want, either 3 element, 4 element? Tell me what I'm going to write for plot 4. Are you okay to do that?
No, no, not really.
Not okay. Pablo, can you help us?
Yeah, yes.
I want us to put something in this. We have divided this thing into 6. Do you hope you know how we divided this into 6? That's the rows, 2 rows, and 3 columns. Hope you
3
know.
columns.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want you to tell me, I want to put something here. Okay, I want to put it here. You see here?
Yeah.
Can you tell me what I'm going to do? So
Okay.
you can tell me, can you call any item you want me to put here? I will modify it. Go ahead.
So let's try let's do 2 and 4 for
2
X.
and 4. Okay.
Then for the Y we do
You do what?
let's do 8 and 12
So let's do 8
and
and
12.
12. So what next should I do?
So do PLT dot subplot.
Okay, PLT the subplots. Then
Bracket. So since you're doing
remember I told you I want it to be here. Remember?
yes,
Okay.
yes. That will be plot 2 and how many rows?
Yeah, look at this. We have 2 row. You see 2 row and 3 column. 2 row, 3 column. That is
So it will be
first
2, 3,
column,
3.
second column,
Which,
third column, and we'll have
so that
1 row, second row. So what should I put there?
that'll be 3. Put 3 there.
Okay, what next?
2. Since it's the second, you're putting in the second use 2.
2.
Yes, because
Okay.
you're putting it under the second. I think that's
Okay, what next remaining?
PLT dot plot X and Y.
Or if I say you're wrong, will we fight?
No, no, no. We will not fight.
Okay, let's run the code and let me tell you why you are wrong. You did it very great, but you made one small mistake. The mistake is this. I've told you that if you look at what I type here, I said the last value is the location. Now it means that this is location 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh.
You get the point
Okay.
now.
Yes. So I think
So
that's where I had to is supposed to be 4.
I want it
Is
to be
it?
here. I want it to be here.
That's the location should be 4 now.
That's not. I say I want it to be here.
Sorry, 5.
Okay,
5, sorry.
so this is what I want you to understand, because when we split it that way, we want it to be in that location. And this is what I want you to give me. And this is perfect. All right, so who is going for the next one? I want somebody to tell me, give me a code. That would be okay. Who is here again? Sterling said she will not. Then let me go and look for trouble. Uchechukwu, are you sleeping? Victor, help us. Irus, it's your turn. So I want to put for plot 5, but now I want to put that plot 5 at the end of it here. So I'm going to type plot 5. So I'm going to plot 5, and then I will copy this code. what I need for you to do for me now is tell me give me a number that I'm going to pass in the X array, Y array. Tell me the position that I'm going to modify this to be here. All right, tell me the first number in the array. Irus.
I don't really know exactly how to go about it right now.
Okay. Uchechukwu, Blake, tell us before we go to Collins. Bọ́ọ̀tì. Okay, Bọ́ọ̀tì is not here. So let me put 21 here, put 14 here. Change this one to 18 and make this one 2. And then I'm going to change this position to 6. And I'm going to run this and I will have it right here. Sterling.
Yeah.
Have you understand this part now? From what Pablo is saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Alright, tell me what I'm going to put here. I want to put this here. Tell me what I'm going to do. It is friendly. If you don't get it, there's no problem. That's why I say we need to just be practicing. Because you just gradual get to know all of them and you see you will start enjoying it.
Okay, what I know is that the plot location will be 4.
Will be 4.
But when it comes to those the numbers inside, I'm still trying to fix that in my head.
Okay, so we will you did great. You did great. But we'll do something right now. Because this numbers inside is not a problem. We are just choosing a random number. Now the random number here, let's get something straight because I feel like maybe we are not understanding something here. Now let me use this please. Because if it is Pablo only that understand the numbers now, that means we have problem. And Uchechukwu refused to talk. Baleki refused to talk. So this is the thing, Sterling. This is like when you're plotting a graph. And I'm going to give you an assignment, Sterling, you only. Tomorrow, I will give you a number. I want you to use your hand to plot a graph of numbers I'm going to give you. You understand what I'm saying? Maybe that's when you're going to stand. What you're doing now is manual graph. The same way you do graphing when you're plotting ArcGIS. The same thing you are doing when you're plotting in AutoCAD. The same thing you're doing when you're using Google Earth Pro. This is the same thing you're doing now when you're using Python. The difference is that you are typing. You are not moving your cursor. So if you remember the first time I asked us to add phone number to our assignment, I wanted us to achieve the same thing you do in coordinate. Now, let me tell you something. Look critically here. Let me zoom a bit so that this will be high. And then you need to see this. Now, these numbers are numbers that can be in Easton and nothing. The same way you come back from a feed, you type Enugu is, I can't remember, Enugu is in 6 or something in Easton. Now, the same thing is what you are going to put here. The same way you type a number, Easton, comma, you enter nothing. That's the next line. Easton, comma, another nothing. Easton, comma, another nothing. Easton, comma, another nothing. Easton, comma, nothing. Now, at the end of the day, were you not able to produce a map which looks like this and you see it is somebody's property? It's somebody's property, as you can see. Now, after the property, this is a road. And this is exactly what we did here. It is the coordinate, it's the same thing that we are doing. So when Pablo is saying I should put 2, put 3 there, it is not a big deal. It's just like plotting a graph. Now, this is like a road. Now, if you have a road here, now look at this. If you have a road, look at this number here. You see this number here, we put 21 and 14. In the y-axis, this is 14 somewhere here. This is 20. and this is 21. Okay, let me use this position of 4. Now in the y-axis, this is 2021, that is y x-axis. We have 21 and 14. This is 15. This is 4 to 15 here, meaning 14 is somewhere here. Okay, let me use something that is clear. Let's use position of 3. If you look at position of 3, we have 5 and 12. Now if you come here, is this not 5? Look at 5 in x-axis. Look at 12 is still in x-axis. This is 10, 11, 12. This is 12 that it ended here. Now in the position of, that is 5 and 12, in the position of 20y, it is 21 and 8. Go here, this is 7.5. 8 should be somewhere here, and another one 21 here. And that is how this line comes about here. So when Pablo said I should put 2 and 3, he just put a random number that is going. If you look at what Pablo told me, I think Pablo plotted the one at the center, which is number 5, which is this one, 5 here. He said I should put 2 and 4. Go to what he said, 2 and 4. In the x-axis, this is 4. You can see here, 3. This is 2 and 4. As you can see, this is 4. Ignore this because it is this overlapping that is causing it, but this is 4, this is 3, this is 2. This is 2.4, this is 3.06 before you get to 4. Now he said I should put 2 and 4. Look at 2 here, look at 4 here. It coincides with this. If you do pong 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 and join here, this is 4. Do the same thing here, join here, this is 2. Now you return back here again to what he said. He said plot number 5. So we go to number 5 here. He said 8 and 12. Return back here again. This is 8 and it ended on 12. So this is the same thing he is trying to tell us. So how the number come about is that if you are plotting a graph, this is n-pi array, which is, if I pass 3 value to this place and make it like 20. Okay, let me put 7 here. Let me just put comma 7 here. Now come on here, I'm going to put 8 here, I'm going to put 6 here, and I'm going to do comma put 4. Now I have passed 3 value to it. Look at the location of plot 4, which is here. Now when I run this same code again, look at what will happen. You see that it have now increased to what? Look at 7 in the x-axis. This is the same thing, so it now have to reduce to 21, 14, and 7 in the x-axis. Then it comes down to this 8, 6, and 4 in y-axis. This is 8, it stops there, 6 here, and 4, and it stops there. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand this part. What about the subplots? I think the next line after this x and y now.
Okay, now the next y here, if you look here, I wrote something here that, let me use this subplot and explain to you. The first value here is the row. The row means here. Do you know what is row?
Yes, I know this one.
Are you sure?
Yes, I know.
Okay. Okay. All right. So this is row. This is row. This is row. This is column. This is column. This is column. Don't worry how my hand, this is not working well. But this is row and column. Now I want to go back a step back a bit. Now when you have this as row and you have this as row, then and you have this as column, the first column, the second one, the third one, and see how I'm drawing down. Now in this context of the code which we have here, which I'm going to use now, I said the first thing now is give me 2 rows. It means I am going to have 2 rows. So I'm going to have the first row and the second row. Now the next thing on the code is that you should also produce give me 3 columns. What is 3 columns? I will return back to dashboard here. I need the first, the second, and the third. Now the next thing is the position. So let me assume I'm going to close this up and then give me another block here, and this comes into here. So this is 2 row by 3 column. How is it 2 row? The way it is 2 row is that this is 1 row and this is 2 row. By 3, this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Now this satisfies the first thing we talk about here, the 3, 2, 3, and let's go to the one location. Now inside here, if I say Sterling, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4, this is 5, this is 6. Did you get this thing I draw now?
Yes.
Now when I ask Pablo that I want Pablo to give me a code that will draw something here, Pablo gave me a code. What did he give me? He gave me 2 because this is 2. The row is into 2, so he gave me 2, comma, what column? 2 again. In there is row of 2 and 3. So he gave me 3 because it has to be 3. And the next thing, what is the location? He gave me 5. Now if you look at the code Pablo say I should write, it is 2, 3, 5. If you go here, Pablo say we should write 2, 3, 5. Do you see 2, 3, 5 here?
Yes, I can see it.
So that's how it come about. Did you understand this concept now?
Yes, very well.
Can I challenge you?
Sure.
Okay. I want to rearrange this code now so that I can have 3 row and 2 column. What should I do on this code?
3 rows and 2 columns.
Yes, ma'am.
I think you could just change instead of having 2 and 2. That's at the subplots. Instead of having 2 and 3. And you said 3 rows and 2 columns, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So you just put 3, comma, 2, comma, then the position that you want it to be.
So that is exactly what I want you to know, and that is correct. So I just need to rearrange this and put 3, and then I put 2 here, go to this one, put 3 here, and then this one, put 2 there, go to this one, put 3 there, go to this, put 2 there. But there is another challenge. Hope you know. Do you know the challenge?
Okay.
Hmm?
I'm not sure I'm aware of another challenge.
The challenge there is that the location of where we save our data. This is now what it is. Because we are now replotting, because what it means is that now what we have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first one now is give us in the location of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You see what happened now? because we are changing the locations. So do you see how this automatically changed because we put it like this? So I think if we didn't get any other thing again, I think we have gotten this. I wanted us to do one more thing, but I don't know. But I really like us to do one more thing. And one more thing I want us to do is, how do you put a subtitle in all of them is what I wanted us to look at. Because we have ended up creating many of them. How do you put a subtitle on it? Which I am just going to copy this code to do the same thing. So I will do something, copy the code and then paste it here, and then I'm going just to swap the number. So I'll put 2, and then I'll put 3, then I'll put 2, and I'll put 3, then I'll go to this one, then I'll put 2 and 3, then plot 4, I'll put 2 and here 3. I'm putting this thing so that when you will be practicing, you have a variation, because I just feel like now you might not really, it have not really synced in. So that we have 2 variations, so that when I run this code, you will have this one in this way, 1 2 3, and you have this one 1 2, so that you now try to see what happened in between the code. Now the last thing I want us to do before we close is, here we are going to put subtitle. Like, how do you put a subtitle in between them? Like, how do you make a subtitle in it? Because you have plotted, what if they are answering different name? What are you going to do in the title? So what we just need to do here, you see here we declare the title here. You see the title we put up here as outside xplot and yplot. That is for general. But how do we put a subplot? So I'm going to paste this, and then inside here I am going to put a subtitle in between them. How? Let's say here that we say plot this particular one. After putting the x, plt y, so we can put this one and do plt, and we say title, and then I'm going to make this one spelling. And then when I run this code, what do you think that will happen is sterling. So you will see this one having sterling. Then that's the same thing here. If I can copy this, Pablo did this one, so I can go down here and then paste here. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay. So is Collins here?
Yeah, I'm here.
How are you doing, man? Hope we are together. Or the thing is getting closer.
I actually understand everything when you use that your marker to explain it.
Oh, that's great. Thank God we later use the marker. Yeah. So this is just what I'm saying. We have a general listing, and if you want to put subtitle in between them, you can see this one Blake, this one is Kensley Collins, this one is Kensley. So let me comment these 2 code. The title, because the title now, the general title is now causing confusion. But I'm going to show you how we can put them in the location they will be. And if you look here, you see Blake Collins, you see here. Then remember what we did at title, where we say let us pass the title into it either by top or down. remember that these are what is necessary. Because for example, the person who is plotting, you are plotting for doing this kind of analysis said, I want columns to be under it instead of top. Remember the location, what we did about location. So this is why I say document all this code, and if you can't remember it, you will always go back to it. You can see here, these are some of the code we use, and then we say when it comes to title, how do you put the title in location? You see here, we say put the location. We use title here, and we say location right. You get the point now? Location right. So these are what you need to understand. And if you see this now, we have ended up putting Collins, Blake, Collins, Kingsley, Stella, Steph, Pablo, and Sterling in each of those subplots. So we now put the name inside it, and this is what we call it is putting title in all of them, in between them. So this is the way you can get these things done. But there is something I'm going to put here, so which I'm going to put super title. Now I am going to copy this one, the one I commented here, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going down here before the grid, or the grid I put here. If I want to put grid in all of them, see what I'm going to do. I'm going to paste this. If I want to put grid here, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to put a grid here. I'm also going to go down to plot here and put the grid here, and I'm also going to go down here and also put the grid here. I'm going down here again, paste it and put the grid there. Going down to 2, paste it, sorry, enter, put grid there, enter, go down to 1, paste it, and put grid. So what it means is if I run this, you will see that all of them is going to have grid. Is that okay? So, but I'm going to put what we call super title, and to put that super title, go ahead.
Okay, I just wanted to know what you did when you made the mistake. Was it Control Z you did to correct the mistake?
Yes, I press Control Z. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I want to put, go ahead.
Sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay, so I'm going to put a super title, and that super title becomes my name. You get the point now? So by using a subtitle, you have to give a whole title. You see the way it stands out? So the whole this thing understand that is a super title. The truth remains that the thing is getting interesting and sweet, but I know some people don't like it, right? But by the time you start working on this very well, I don't see a reason why we not like this. Because I know Sterling is not happy about what we are doing. But
That's not true.
so you need to see how it works. So this is the way you can get it done, and you run the code, it will give you a super title standing out from the rest. See it here, super title. This one was conflicting here, but we now decided to put super title. So this is exactly what you need to do. See here, the beginning, we imported it, we plotted the first one. Now the first one, we define the data, so I am going to take this off here. I want to clean up the code so that you understand how it works. Now this is the one we use to define the x and y. We go to the plotting of 1. The plotting of 1, we put it up here. Let me run the code again. It seems like I have messed up one of them. So you see up here we have 1, we say np1, and we plotted, this is the first one, which is this. So we are going to take this as plot of 1. This is the plot of 1. We go to the next one, which is the plot of 2 here. Then this is the plot of 2, and we go to the next one, plot 3, plot 4, plot 5 and 6. You can see it here. So with this, we were able to build what we have here. So let me remove Stella and only leave Steph that is small. Sorry, Control Z, and then go back a bit, remove this so that we have a small number so that it will not be overlapping. And you see we have Collins, Blake, Ainsley, Steph. You see the way it works now. So this is a way you can build this stuff. So we're still doing a straight line. We have not gone to anything complex. So I think this is where we will stop. If you have any question, ask me. I make this thing simple so that you will not have issue with it. So by the time we just finish with the basics, so we will start working, bringing a data, and we'll work on it. We bring a data, we'll work on it. And do you have any question? Or should I ask my own question?